And ladies and gentlemen, we are off. Are you a bad enough dude to rescue Zelda? Shoutouts to bad dudes.
Race 2, we are off. Here we go. 50 rupees.
Perfect timing on the return of the commentators here.
Yes, the commentary here returns. We see the race going off. We see both of these guys. And we hope that we have a good race between both of these guys. Ninjembro winning the first race between these two. Newbie hoping to get a win to force game number 3.
Keeping our fingers crossed that everything starts out correctly on Newbie's end this time after some controller issues in the beginning of the first game. Seems like he's gotten those taken care of. This should be a race.
And that's really good to see, because this way we have... Excuse me.
Now, Rick, I know we had a short break, but that doesn't mean you have to choke on something. All right, everybody, I'm hoping my commentator is okay. He never... But,
I am fine. I am fine.
we were all worried about.
That's embarrassing.
Embarrassing, Rick. But I was worried that somebody was going to have to give you the Heineken maneuver. Here, have a beer and wash that down.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, welcome to Zelda Link to the Past Randomizer here to Ninjembro here in game number 2, hoping to win and move on to face against the winner of the Evil Ash JC race. That would be possibly the number 1 seed.
So, like normal in Escape, the key here is getting as many rupees as you can so you can afford Bottle Merchant and getting at least 1 bomb so that you can knock out the additional rooms in the sewers.
So there's not much to say this. So, I mean, you pretty much have discussed this before. I might as well just go ahead and choke some more.
So wasn't a pretzel like our former President Bush, was it?
No. Big key pickup. Let's see what's in Zelda's vault. Notice I try to keep it PG at this point. Turned out to be a document on how to escape this dungeon.
You act like I might have said something that could have been interpreted by people with impure minds.
I think eTab has it correct with the hashtag.
Well, at least I can say I created a hashtag. Why not? That's why they had to throw Zelda behind bars, because she had the map. And there's the clip.
Well, don't you want to see what's in Zelda's chest?
Yeah.
The way you're laughing at that, or sighing at that.
No, it's more of that, what you're saying combined with what's going on in the chat. This is supposed to be a family-friendly stream.
I think we've already given up that right.
That's true.
So, Ninjembro, first one to the sewers. Newbie not that far behind. It's good to see Newbie actually have a in-sync run here to the sewers with Ninjembro after what happened in the first race.
As he points out in the chat, these commentators are rated M for mature. There's a Ninjembro getting one of the rare 8 bomb drops, or both of them getting it.
There we go. The rats are playing nice to our runners today.
Yeah. So both of them will have plenty of bombs to be able to either go Kakariko Village, which is what the majority of runners do after escape, although some will run south to the dam and Mini Moldorm Cave.
How many bombs do you need in Kakariko Village?
1, 2, 3. And 4 if you count needing the bomb for the extra in sewers here.
So 1 here for escape. The 3 in the village that you definitely need to. The 4th that you decide to just remove on a bad bombing anyway, if you're ninjembro. The 4th if you have to go to the race game. 5 being outside the Light World Hype Cave, the Mini Moldorm Cave, and 6 being the Ice Rod Cave.
So they've got all they need. And, of course, more if you're Dark Magician 1184 and you want to leave a path of exploded bodies all throughout Hyrule.
And 7 for Sarasala's Hut, and we find the Cane of Brian, aka the Cane of Berna, here in the Sanctuary's chest. So you're just stealing that old man's cane.
And it even matched his robe. Come on.
What are you doing to us, Link?
Yeah. So Newbie's saying, I am not going to check the lumberjack cave. They may be lumberjacks, they may be okay, but I'm just going to leave their cave alone. Head straight to the Lost Woods.
So you're perfectly fine stealing an old man's cane out of the sanctuary, but you're not fine trying to see what, just a piece of heart, what the lumberjacks have in their bank account. Priorities, man.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like for the information we have right now, we have not gotten any confirmation that Aghanim will be required because just a piece of fart on the in the cave.
Newbie, the first one heading over to Kakariko Village. And then Ninjembro ended up winning that first race by about 15 minutes.
Yep. So it,
And I know the chat commented about how you said that piece of heart.
what? You talking about a piece of fart?
Yes.
What's the problem? It's a piece of fart. There's another piece of fart there in Blind's cave.
And
Blind's
Green
basement.
Panda is Eastern. It looks like the other 2 are crystals.
So 2 out of 3 Light World dungeons will be crystals here, which gives everybody hope that we'll be able to, or at least gives the runners hope that we'll be able to skip Turtle Rock and Misery Mire, or Turtle Rock and Ice Palace. Some combination of those 3 dungeons.
Didn't have that luck last seed where they still had to go through Turtle Rock despite getting an early Ice Rod.
Yep.
There's the mirror.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest Link of all?
You aren't.
I'm not Link. Oh, and there's the lag meringue and the lantern. Dark rooms avoided.
Lantern avoided? Feels bad, man.
And Newbie gets the chicken clip.
Tossed him right through that wall, did he?
Yeah, that's the
That is
original
so
bird
cute.
toss.
That's abuse. How are we going to allow this kind of conduct happening at 11 a.m. East Coast time?
Well,
Isn't there standards and practices here, Blue Goo? Which is a nice place to find it because you're just 1 south of where the sick kid is.
Absolutely. And also remember, this game has a This game has a built-in mechanism to punish legal
Mushroom.
drugs. Now we know why the kid is so sick.
He had too many mushrooms on his piece of heart.
That's right. As I was saying, the game has a built-in mechanism to punish you for beating up on the cuckoos a little bit.
Red rupee in the library. We're not going to be seeing anyone dash to get that.
No, not at all. Let's see what's in the race game.
Are we going to race to get it?
No.
No,
Not at
for
all.
bombs.
Bams. We got the bams.
So Newbie's currently ahead, but Newbie's lead is based on the fact that he never checked Lumberjack Cave.
Right. And in this game, yeah, that's going to turn out to be irrelevant unless some item starts trolling him, and then he'll have to he may make a trip back up there to check just in case.
Yeah, we've seen that in the previous run. Having mirror here just means you can go right straight through this swamp and the dam and just do it in one straight shot instead of having to go back in twice.
Yep. Thanks to that Japanese 1.0 exclusive glitch where pressing the mirror makes blocks disappear.
Flippers by draining the dam.
That's a good place to find them. That actually makes sense.
Pretty much. You just unearthed some scuba divers' flippers.
Yeah, I'm amazed that there's no skeleton still there.
Well, the fish feasted on his body.
So both of our runners now getting the flippers. Nice bomb strats from Newbie there.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful right there, getting two of the mini molderns.
And we got bombs. We got two hams. We got a piece of fart. We got a full heart and another bomb. And that one was empty.
Which will probably be turned in at a potion shop at some point. Now, Newbie has 446 rupees. He's not that far off, and he didn't get that 5 rupee, but he's not that far off from being able to check Zora.
Yeah, but the last thing you want to do is be farming rupees in Zora's domain. So let's see what happens. He could get 100 or 300 rupees. Looks like he's checking Ice Rod Cave now. So if that's a rupee stash, he'll be sitting pretty for that.
But, you know, they can't all be like Dark Magician and try to force single rupees off the Zoras.
Yeah, there's one race I don't know if it was you and me commentating, Rick, but we had a runner who was something like 8 rupees short of being able to pay off Kiki to let him into Palace of Darkness. And
yeah, that was our race.
That was us? Okay. Had to farm around Pod for the last 8 rupees.
Yeah, that was interesting. Got lucky with the 5 drop.
Yeah.
All right, Newbie's going to trade in some drugs. See what this mushroom yields.
And Link's supposed to be the hero, and here he is doing drug deals. By God, think of the children!
We are. That's why the sick kid was sick.
Here's the mushroom. The sick kid told me this was good stuff.
Ninjembro looks like he is going to check the hobo.
And just 20
and it's
bucks.
a piece of heart.
And just 20
It's a piece
bucks.
of heart.
Make Hylia.
Yeah, it's not as important as this race between these two, where the Ether Medallion turned out to be. And it looks like Newbie's going to go the same route that Ninjembro is and head to the hobo. Or, yes, he is going to do that. And what's the hobo going to yield this time around? 5 rupees. You stole his life savings.
A troll. Because a lot of times when you get flippers early on in the seed, particularly with this logic, with the 18 logic, there's a high likelihood that that Hobo and or Zora will have something, some progression item.
It is very likely. Ninjembro is going to be trading in the mushroom. He will be not so thrilled to find the piece of heart, but we do know at this point in time that if there's anything to progress this seed, it has to be either in Eastern Palace, Sarashala's hut, or Zora.
Don't forget the possibility of Agnes Cave.
Oh yeah, Agnes Cave as well. That is a good possibility. But there's got to be something in one of those 4 locations, because otherwise we are stumped. There's nowhere else to go.
We're going to need a lift upgrade, or a flute, or a hammer.
And right now, even without the glove, there's no way to get into the grind cave, if you want to call it that. And there's the Titan's Mitt. There's your progression.
And the flute.
And the flute as well, yes.
Sahasrahla hoarding all the good stuff for himself.
And with the mirror also in hand, that now also makes the Tower of Hera a good possibility. And we're going to probably see Newbie go ahead and activate the swag duck and help his way up to Death Mountain and see what is up there. Ninjembro about to pick up the treasure of items as well. That doesn't mean that Zora doesn't have anything to progress the seed at this point, but it's less likely we're going to see these guys make their way over there anytime soon. As Newbie now go ahead and activate the swag ducks. Get your swag ducks in chat and rise for the anthem here from Newbie404. We're going to talk over it because this is the second airing of the anthem for today.
That's right.
And Newbie about to activate the swag duck as well.
So you got to think at this point, the highest probability play is to head up to Tower of Hera.
That would be the right play at this point. You can't be Eastern. You are missing the bow. You can't even get into the desert at this point in time. You don't have the book. But here's another thing.
Yes.
You can get into Desert Palace, the back doorway.
That's right, because both of our runners have Titan's Mitt, and a fire source, so it is possible to get into Desert Palace at this point.
But we don't know if Desert's beatable because of the lack of boots.
It's true.
Bomb increase here from the old man. What is he doing with so many bombs?
I don't know. Maybe that's why he walks so slow. He had a bomb accident earlier in life.
Makes you wonder what he did in his golden years.
So one cape sitting on Spectacle Rock.
That's an interesting spot for that too. And the shovel in Spectacle Rock, which is at this point you want to grab because it's a progression item.
Both of our runners are mere seconds apart at this point. They're taking nearly identical routes through this game.
And this could be the kind of race that we were hoping for in the first go-around.
So Newbie will be able to full clear Tower of Hera at this point, regardless of whether or not there's an item in the basement. So, gotta believe that's his next play if he doesn't get trolled by ledges.
Yeah, it would be the right play at this point in time. Just go on up there. A case could be said for heading on over to the Desert Palace because of the way that you got both the Titan's Mitt and the flute at the same time if you want to play to the 18 logic.
And they have fixed the way the logic works in more recent versions of the randomizer. Remember that the tournament is remaining on the VT8 version 18 logic, out of a sense of fair play and making sure everybody's on the same logic. But the V18 logic, the programmers identified that it had a bias towards items that opened up other locations. So if you got the flippers, there was a high likelihood that there was going to be a progression item at Hobo or Zora or Swamp Palace. And
we see a small key in the basement here, so there is a possibility, if this does not turn out to be the big key, that you do have to go downstairs for the big key, and yes, you do! And by the way, both players are picking up the Magic Cape because there's still a possibility that AGA 1 is required, and we have not seen a sword upgrade yet. That might be your only way into AGA 1.
It is true. And not only that, we don't know what item is at Bumper Cave, so it's also possible that a progression item could be locked behind Bumper Cave as well. And Newbie404 using the iframe strats so that he can just, take a sip of coffee, get up and stretch a little bit while he waits for the tile room to clear here.
Throw his controller against the wall.
Yeah. That might have been the problem the first game.
So we do know that this is going to yield the big key. There's no other thing it can be. It has to be the big key.
Absolutely. Then players will probably mirror out and head right back upstairs.
And just a confirmation once again, Eastern Palace. There's also another reason they don't want to go into Eastern Palace, because Eastern Palace is a pendant dungeon. It is the green pendant, but you don't have the bow, so why go into a dungeon you can't complete?
Right. Chat calling Moon Pearl on Pyramid. That would be a nice troll.
We have seen that before.
Absolutely.
We can see that again. Newbie, I think, thought about the bomb jump, but, remembers, I don't have the boots. This is no better. Because I'm going to still have to fall down a hole. I might as well do it the way the programmers intended you to do it.
I swear every time Link falls down a hole, it sounds like the Three Stooges. Literacy!
That opens up the regular route into Desert. And that's both items in Tower of Hera. So another player is going to be able to check the Ether tablet before they leave the mountain.
Yes, we've found both items here in... it had the Book of Medora and 20 rupees, so... Troll Dorm here is going to drop probably the compass, I think. But let's hope that Troll Dorm doesn't live up to his name here, because he did last game.
He's the meanie.
Yeah.
And Newbie's got to be careful because his health is not all that great at this point. And Troll Dorm doing his best, trying to push him off, but he got him up to that one little free spot. And Newbie gets him down.
Shoutouts to holding B strats. So now you got to imagine that our runners will head to Desert after this. Or do we have it backwards? Is Desert the pendant and Eastern is the crystal?
Eastern is the green pendant.
That's what I thought.
Newbie is going to go into the Dark World here. He doesn't have the Moon Pearl, but this is going to give him information.
And he will be able to check both the desert ledge, and the checkerboard cave from here.
Now, if you notice what Newbie did, he's doing this on purpose. It is not to find out what is on the ledge, although he does find out what's on the ledge by doing that. It's to get away from this bird who could really butcher you.
Can wreck you. With green mail, does it do 2 or 3 hearts of damage?
3 hearts damage.
Yeah.
And Newbie coming up to the ledge here and is going to be going his way into Desert Palace.
Looks like we may have our first route divergence here.
But here's the question. Ooh, there's a small key on the torch.
Still possibly beatable, but the odds are going down.
This has to be a big key.
Nope.
It's not. Desert is not beatable.
So what is going to be at the digging game here? Just some green
goo in a bottle. Now, Newbie is doing the right play here. He's going to check the checkerboard cave. That's still a possibility. Ninjembro is going to find the power glove here. He's going to check Agina. That's another possibility.
Yeah, that's probably what Newbie will probably route around to the south. Yep, that's where he's headed to. Some high five with our runners here.
Yep, and we're going to find out what's in Agina's cave. Ten arrows. You want to know where the next progression item is?
Zora.
It's either going to be Zora or Aga 1. There is no other possibility at this point.
And neither one of our runners have 500 rupees yet.
Wait a second. Could be one of the troll items in Eastern Palace.
Could be. 'Cause even though they can't complete it, they can get through 90% of the dungeon without the bow.
And I think Newbie's going to make a play for the grind cave. Yeah, that's where he's going. Let's get himself some rupees.
Yep, so we know he's headed to Zora. And here's we got pendants at Thieves Town and Palace of Darkness. Crystal number 6 is Turtle Rock. So the odds of a required item being at Double-Chested Fairy goes down significally.
Wow, Ninjembro here. And that actually may have been a good time to actually do the reverse there. We do know that Aether is required to get into Misery Mire. And Ninjembro just a little too far off the ledge there.
Rejected by the portal.
So Newbie now with 500 plus rupees will be heading on over to Zora.
I'm kind of holding out for the Eastern Palace troll.
Well, we're going to find out really fast. Moon Pearl would be a major progression.
Yeah, after that quick blast seed, I'd kind of like to see a pedestal seed, wouldn't you?
I would love to see a pedestal seed. I'd love to be a commentary for one. I've had several Sarashula required seeds. Those are nice. And Ninjembro just having so many issues with the mirror at this point.
All right.
500 rupees is the fire rod.
I'll pay 500 rupees for a fire rod.
Eastern Palace or Aga 1 required. Ninjembro's going to get some bad information real soon. And Newbie is going Aga 1.
It's a... You know, Aga 1, right now, if there's not a... if the Moon Pearl's not an Eastern Palace, you know, it's got to be on the pyramid, and that would be the bigger troll. But we'll see. Now, once Ninjembro, yeah, he's mirrored out, so what is he going to do? Is he going to make the same decision?
So here's what Newbie's going to do, because you need to sword 2 or higher to get past the beam. You magic cape your way past it. And Ninjembro with the 502 rupees is going to head to Zora, find out what he has in store. Fire Rod's going to be beautiful for this, by the way, because that's just going to make it so much easier to defeat these guards.
Yeah, definitely, because they're going through with the toy sword, so which amazingly will still deflect Aghanim bolts.
And I apparently had it wrong the first go around. For some reason, I thought I saw a green pendant at Eastern. I'm being told that the music in Desert was the music in Desert was of the pendant dungeon.
Oh. Well, that's the advantage that the chat has that we don't. We do not have sound, so.
This reach stream is musicless for the Until Music.
That's right. Just like this seed is bootless until boots.
Which is still is Jimpro missing the duck.
Swag failed.
Once more with feeling. Now here's a routing divergence that I'm actually liking here, because we're going to get so much information right now.
I would have made the same play that Ninjembro is making here, because there's no possibility that Aghanim's tower itself will have anything, because the only chests in here are keys, and once you get on the pyramid, the only item you can collect is the moon pearl. So, or if the pyramid item, and if it's the moon pearl, that's great, but there are 3 items in Eastern Palace, so
you have access to guaranteed 2 items. Possible 3rd, but guaranteed 2. That's one of them right there. That's bad news. That big ball is bad news too. So Newbie's about to get the information we are waiting to see.
And Aghanim says, "Bye, Felicia."
Okay, if you say so. And we'll cut SD some slack for forgetting the fire rod, because he was trying to correct my mistake for misidentifying Eastern Palace. Oh, 10 arrows. That's even worse news now.
Yes, it is.
That's 2 items. This could be a problem.
It's looking more and more like the Aghanim play was the correct one.
So, Aga 1 is a 7-round fight, because the 5th round is guaranteed to be Thunder. Every time. Or Lightning, rather.
That's like thunder and lightning.
Now, Ninjembro's guaranteed to get the big key out of the traditional big key room. No skipping that. Newbie kills off Aga 1. Aga 1 is going to yield the moon pearl!
In stereo from the commentators. So now that opens up a whole lot of things for Newbie.
And by the way, we just want to point this out, because Newbie now has the Moon Pearl as well as the Mirror. Anytime he saves and quits in the Dark World, he goes right back to the top of the pyramid. So now with the Moon Pearl in hand, Newbie404 is going to be heading on over to the Dark World once again. Guaranteed big key here for Ninjembro. So
after this, you got to think Ninjembro's heading straight for Aghanim's tower.
He has to, unless this is something that takes him off the scent. It is a blue rupee. All 3 items collected. Eastern not finishable.
And even if it is, the Armos Knights will not have an item. So it's like, yeah, so Newbie is going through and filling up his wallet a little bit here. The version 18 logic has I don't know if it's a glitch, but allows you to go back to the chest game multiple times, and it's not shuffled. So if you get the 100 rupees, you can just keep going back in. That was fixed in the V19 and 20 logic, though.
Our runners to do AGA 1 with the fighter sword. We don't know where any of the upgrades are. Right now, these guys are probably happy this is 18 logic without the progression in there.
You know, because that means they could find the butter sword.
There are so many possible items out of play right now.
Yeah.
So, what are our crystal dungeons? Right? What are our pendant dungeons right now? Pendant dungeons
Palace
are
of Darkness.
Palace of Darkness, Thieves' Town, and that other dungeon that's in the light world that I kept misidentifying. Desert Palace.
Yep.
So, it's this point in time in the run where we do our usual thinking process and try to figure out what could be in the pedestal. We know it can't be the bow.
Nope. Ice Rod.
Ice Rod could
Always
be there.
Ice Rod. Any one of the medallions.
So Thieves' Town, Desert, and Palace of Darkness. Could be the hook shot.
Oh yeah, you're right. Wow.
Could be the Cave Samaria.
And there's Das Boot.
Boots! The seat is bootless until boots, which you had to get from the swordsmiths.
The cobblers now, I guess? Newbie saying... Oh, okay. I thought for a second there Newbie was saying, I'm just going to leave the lunchbox here, but no.
He just went on over to the Foot Locker, got the boots from the swords guys. So, you know the first thing you do when you get the boots?
Bonctuary?
No, you get the purple chests and do something that you can't do with the boots.
Yeah, it's true. I thought that. As soon as I said Flankshore, I was like, oh, wait a minute, he's talking about the treasure chest. Let me sip some more coffee.
And we find bombs up here south of the Haunted Grove. Nothing really all that interesting.
And he's gonna hit up old Stumpy here.
Ooh, Jembro's got to be careful. He's down to a half a heart.
Ooh. All right, he should be good.
Yeah, he got the guard stunned. But that's not something you want to end up doing now. Newbie is going to go ahead and find out what the shovel yields. Turned out not to be anything that's important. Green goo in a bottle, which, green goo is nice to have, but there's a lot of better items in this game.
That's true. It did come in handy for Newbie in his Ganon fight in the previous race. The previous match.
No. Right now, Newbie does have a lead over Ninjembro. But here's the big thing. If Ninjembro gets zapped here by any reason whatsoever against this AGA 1, that's a 4-minute loss here for Ninjembro.
Without a doubt. There's really no way to speed up Aghanim's Tower.
And the standard
checkpoints.
And the standard route here, you would check the Bombos tablet. You can't do that here.
No sword upgrade. They got the book. So again, the seed is trolling them. Here's the book, but no.
And Ninjembro does take down AGA 1. And thankfully for that, he does get his health replenished at this point.
Be happy to find the pearl.
Or not. But he'll get the Moon Pearl anyway,
yeah,
providing he doesn't get bumped off by any enemies, but he's able to do this. All right, Dark World Hype Cave was very hype in the first race between these guys. Is it going to be hype this time around? So far, starts off, still Still eh. Still eh. Eh.
Womp womp womp.
Wow. Here's your parting gift. 4 bombs and 60 rupees.
The parting gift was always the really lame home version board game.
You get to take home the home version of our game, and thank you very much for joining us here. Now, we do have a thing that control our guys. You know where the hookshot could be?
Yeah, could be.
We mentioned it could be in the pedestal before.
Yep. Could be green pendant.
It could be green pendant. But you want to know where else it could be?
What's that, Rick? One of the tablets?
Hookshot, bumper cave.
Yeah.
Because technically, you can get the hookshot out of that cave. We've seen it happen in practice seeds before.
Ninjembro getting trolled by the fire and the beetles over here in Skullwoods.
Yeah, remember, he doesn't have boots, so he can't take the traditional dash strats.
I do not envy him doing Skullwoods with just the fighter sword and green mail. He does have a safety. He does have some blue goo. There's the hookshot, Bonctuary Cave.
And Newbie's lead just continues to pad itself at this point. Because until Ninjembro goes ahead and does the Frog World Tour here,
So Newbie is going
you have to think, oh, blind look at the Lumberjack Cave. He really wants that piece of heart. And her disappointment in 3, 2, 1.
So he's going to have... Ninjembro's... He also has green goo. I think he has some green goo. So given that he will almost certainly be headed to Mothula with the fighter's sword, he's going to probably use that green goo on the Mothula fight for his fire rod.
Yeah, he's going to have to. This is nasty, and
yeah,
I don't see this ending well for Ninjembro at all.
No.
As Newbie's going to check the hookshot cave.
God.
Or I
Wow.
thought he was going to check... Well, he's going to do that later on. That's right. He's still got to take care of this Eastern Death Mountain stuff, too.
Yeah, the possibilities for hype over here on Death Mountain are endless. The powder!
And the cane of Samaria.
That's gotta be Kane!
Ninjembro picking up the big key. Like, this is just a tough proposition for him. He's going to leave, and he's got to be careful, because if he gets bumped off, he's back to the pyramid.
He's got some safeties.
But the safeties, if they still hang in his pocket, ain't going to do a whole lot of good for him. He does get through this. He's going to take the slow path here. Newbie404 just falling off the edge. Like, right now, Newbie404 is just crushing it with his routing at this point, getting some very good luck, and Ether Medallion, that was needed for Misery Mire, so Ninjembro does find something good here in Skull Woods, a required item.
And not only that, you know, finding a required item in a dungeon that only has 2 unique items in it, that's not bad.
So, just to recap, we know the bow cannot be in the pedestal. That's because Balance of Darkness is a pendant dungeon. We now know the hookshot can't be in there. The hammer definitely can't be, because you need that to be Palace of Darkness again.
There's Quake in the Super Bunny Cave.
Nice. So that removes a lot of our possibilities here. So right now, the possibilities really just sits for the ice rod.
Which can be absolutely anywhere in the game. The only place it can't be is Trinex can't be holding it.
And we saw a case of that in the yesterday's race between AJ Neb and Amazing Afros, where it turned out that the ice rod was in Turtle Rock on the bridge.
Ooh. Jembro taking a death, I don't think it really matters here. So I think that takes him right back. Yeah, takes him back to the bridge. So that death actually helped him because it gave him a few more hearts, and he gets 2 hearts from each of the mini Moldorms there. I would rather be lucky than good any day.
So did Newbie check to see what the medallion was to get into Turtle Rock?
I did not see it, if he did.
Well, Newbie's about to check the Spiral Cave. And I'm certain that Ninjembro, once he's done hitting these Gibdos 1,700 times, and he's doing this to preserve his magic.
Yeah.
This is a huge magic preservation right here, because he's going to need it for Mothula, because Fighter's Sword against Mothula is about as fun as...
getting your gums tattooed?
Okay, if that's the analogy you want to work with, let's go ahead and use it.
Yeah, he'll have Fire Rod. He's got a blue potion. He's got blue goo and green goo, I think. So he'll be in a good position to use his Fire Rod to kill Mothula.
And it's a dun-dun, has to replenish his green goo. Mothula behaving for the most part. But Ninjembro's got to be careful with his shots. Oh! And that is not fun. This is no longer a fun fight here for Ninjembro.
Wow!
Gets him! He gets him! Red
gets
mail!
the red mail for his troubles. Wow! And he says to himself, I could have used that about a minute ago. Are we going to see a pedestal check here from Ninjembro?
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he does. And he's not going to check the pedestal.
Oh, yes, he is.
He's going to check the pedestal. He is not going to be able to do it from there, though.
Nope. Both of our runners have had some trouble getting rejected by their light world portals.
All right, pedestal hype, guys. Let's see what it is. The only thing it can be in this game would be a medallion or the ice rod. I make things go triple boom. Bombs.
And again,
we're checking and seeing that the ether is required for Misery Mire.
And again, the hype lets us down. There's Bombos for Newbie.
So therefore, we knew it couldn't have been a medallion at that point in time. Where could the other items be? Where can the hammer be? Where can the ice rod be? Where can the bow be?
I'm betting on hammer here in Stevestown. But you know, the troll that could be here is, what if our runners don't get a sword upgrade until Ganon's Tower?
Oh, that's right. They need a sword up increase too.
Yeah. I have played a seed before where all 3 sword upgrades were in Ganon's Tower.
Newbie doing the 100 rupee trick here. That is once again a V18 thing. Newbie is in the Desert Palace, trying to finish this thing off. Get all the items. The game is saying no. No, you don't. You gotta go through the entire thing if you want to get both of the items.
Ninjembro, that red mail, that is literally a lifesaver at this point. because there's a relatively low heart count as well. I say as he increases his heart count by 1.
So Newbie now making his way into the Desert Palace, and this is just a what if this turns out to be nothing kind of route. But what if this is something amazing?
What if this ends up being the bow or the hammer?
Or a sword increase? Ninjembro skips over what he needs to do, which is return the door, because that will give him the boots that would help him out.
Yeah, but you can't do the digging game with a follower, so maybe he'll loop back around after being supremely disappointed with the digging game.
I really hope so. So we have not seen both items out of the desert, as Newbie will be going up against the Lamolas.
Expect him to break out the fire rod there, since he's still on fighter sword and no silver arrows.
No arrows, period.
No bow.
And Ninjembro about to save the dwarf spreadsmith here to get himself to the footlocker.
He will be extremely pleased with that.
And last fire rod shot for Newbie404 kills the final, and it's just 10 arrows. But Sarashla
is Sahasrahla holding on to the ice rod again.
Could Sarashla have what we are looking for? Boots pick up here for the Ninjembro. And just like what we saw with Newbie, the first thing you do is you grab the purple chest, but this time Ninjembro is actually going to go ahead and fly it over. All right, let's see what Sarashla has. He could have something very good for our runners, because there's still so much that these guys are missing. And here we go. Sarasota.
Just
with a piece of heart to let these runners down.
So wow, that's 3 times we have had some possible extreme hype, and this seed has let us down. It builds us up, and then it just drops us flat on our face.
Newbie going into Eastern.
Which Ninjembro already did, and was extremely disappointed.
Well, Newbie had a huge lead.
Yeah.
This is the time that he is now yielding back to Ninjembro. He doesn't know it, obviously. That he might think this is the right play, and, you know, at this stage in the race, it very well might be the right play. But let's examine these items that these guys have at this moment. They're missing the bow, so Eastern and the Palace of Darkness are not winnable.
That's right. They're missing the hook shot, so Swamp Palace is out.
They're missing the hammer, so Swamp, as well as Turtle Rock, and Ice Palace are out of the question.
Yep. And they can get into Mire, but well, Newbie has the Cane of Samaria, and Ninjembro does not.
Well, Ninjembro is getting very, very close to picking up a few less than hype things out of this Dark World Hype Cave, aka the Dark World Disappointment Cave.
We know Ninjembro needs to make a trip up to Death Mountain as soon as possible.
Yeah, because that's where a lot of the items that he's looking for is. But I'm going to guess that we're going to see Ninjembro make his way over towards Catfish first. Or not. Runners like to prove me wrong.
We're both in the same boat on that one. So yeah, the troll here could be, particularly like Swamp Palace. You can get a chest in Swamp Palace without the hammer.
And we have seen it before in this tournament, twice in consecutive nights, where it did have the hammer. Ninjembro like this routing here. He's going to check everything on the north end. At this point, I believe he's going to get into the dash cave too, so he'll have a hook shot before too long.
Yeah, we were wondering what routing he was making, and then he shows us, oh yeah, there's a whole northern Dark World route that he can take and end up at Catfish and Zora.
And it turns out that the north route here for Newbie is not the right route. Here, Ninjembro about to get himself a hook shot. Where can the bow, the ice rod, the hammer be?
So it looks like Newbie's going to head on into Skullwoods. He'll pick up the red mail for his troubles.
As well as the ether, which is required for Misery-Mire.
It's the only medallion he doesn't have at the moment.
Yep. And once again, I like this routing here from the Ninjembro here. And likely he's going to tap it off with a trip over to Catfish to finish things off. But yeah, there's so many items that are up for grabs here. Newbie is going to check the back cave.
That's interesting. Ninjembro just turned down 300 rupees. Has he been to Zora?
Yes, he has.
Okay, that would be why. Okay.
And Ninjembro foregoing his portal, so he is not going to go to Catfish.
Nope. And in the Bat Cave, we just find 50 bucks.
Oh my god. What is the seed doing to these players?
It's torturing everybody. Torturing us, trying to figure out, okay, based on the information we have from both of these players, where could they possibly go next? It looks like there's going to be some pendant dungeon diving going on.
I can guarantee you that 124 that Ninjembro got is not going to be answered this seed.
Nah. Nah, not at all. But Ninjembro making his way up to Death Mountain and will be very pleased for that.
If he goes into the right cave. And he's going to go and do the mirror strat at this point. And he'll pick up some good things soon. And he'll like it.
Newbie going the route that we just saw Ninjembro do. He's going to check the bumper cave, and we'll see if Newbie decides to go to Catfish.
And there's the Cane Samaria pickup, as well as the Magic Powder pickup for Ninjembro.
By God, it's Kane.
We need to better prepare you for that. Like, what's going through your mind? And you've played some of these races with us here. What's going through your mind at the 58-minute mark, and you're still dealing with a fighter sword?
Yeah, that's... Well, the thing that's going to my mind is, if I'm not going to find a sword upgrade, at least let me find the half magic, right? So that I can use my fire rod to take stuff out. And at this point, that not having that sword upgrade is locking me out of both tablets as well. So I'm thinking maybe the seed is trolling me to find a sword upgrade and then and then hit up the tablets. But we're slowly running out. So that some of these, like Thieves Town, for example, is starting to look pretty good to me.
Newbie checking Catfish. This will be the first time we've seen what he has to offer. Now, I'm surprised Newbie went this direction instead of just swimming on over to the other side. But maybe he lost that portal and had to go back home.
Yeah.
So what do we find with the Catfish today? As we reach the 1 hour mark of this run here, Game number 2 of a best of 3 series here between the numbers 16 seed and the number 17 seed, where the prize for the winner of this matchup gets the potential number 1 seed of Evil Ash or JC.
Like I said, so you're almost punished for winning because of the strength of the
Piece
competition.
of art from the catfish. Where are those things? Now, the one thing about hammer is there's so many places where the hammer can't be.
Right.
But the other 2 items, there's a lot of places where those could be.
Yeah, that's the one of the items that they haven't found is the one item that can be in the most places, and that is the ice rod. So Ninjembro going to go check on Turtle Rock. He'll see here that is the Bombos medallion.
Yep, but he will soon have that.
Yep.
So Quake not required this seed, but naturally that's the one that they wanted to have early on, was the Quake medallion. And we're going to see some Thieves Town from Newbie.
Going through it with the green mail, but he's got enough hearts, so shouldn't be an issue. There's the Bloomerang for Ninjembro.
Where was the Bombos once again? That was in Misery Mire West, correct?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be something if the bow was hiding behind the hammer block here?
Yeah, and the hammer hiding in Palace of Darkness in its vanilla location. Yeah. And big key for Newbie. He's going to have to clear out some more of Steve's Town here. So we know this is not a pedestal required seed. There's just bombs on the pedestal, but that doesn't mean that the logic can't force them to clear out all the pendant dungeons anyway.
Well, we know, based on what we saw in the Desert Palace, there wasn't anything exciting in there, and Ninjembro about to go find out that the bat is only yielding 50 rupees this time around. And yeah, you're correct on stating there. The Newbie404 has a lot of health here. This is a torturous dungeon to go through without a whole lot of hearts. Easy to get bumped up by the enemies because enemies in the Dark World decide, hey, here's a fresh, juicy link for our consumption.
Yeah, particularly and particularly these little grasshoppers, man. They hit like a truck, and they take, was it 3 swipes with the fighter sword? They take 2 with the master sword.
Yeah, if you get hit by them, they you lose 2 hearts. They're not fun to deal with. And Ninjembro really soon going to be picking up that bombos required for Turtle Rock.
The one saving grace of Thieves Town, though, is that if you have the powder, there's a good number of anti-fairies that can help you out here.
And we're not going to see a checkerboard check here for either of these runners because we saw that earlier. Ninjembro now opting, hey, look, I've got the medallion needed. I've got the Canis of Maria. It's time to go visit Misery Mire.
It's a required dungeon, and he's here. I don't envy him going through Misery Mire with the fighter sword, but this may be swordless seed until Ganon's Tower. That is not unheard of.
Uh-oh. Have you been keeping a tab of the number of items I've been falling here from Newbie?
I have not. Shame. Bad commentator.
I know I've seen at least 2, maybe 3. I don't see you having a bright future, is the trollish statement here from Blind in Game 2.
Now, luckily, Blind is the one boss in the game that sword strength doesn't matter. But the green male, as you see right here, is coming into play. But Kane O'Brien to save the day.
Kane O'Brien, the blind fight is the only fight where it really matters to use the Cane of Burnout, because the beams around it does damage blind, and because it takes 9 hits no matter what, that can actually help you out.
So there, more than likely, there is an item sitting in that hammer chest in Thieves Town, because I believe Blind dropped the compass, so
he dropped the map, but yeah.
Oh, the map. Okay.
But yep, the big chest has an item again. We saw it not come into play last go around.
Yeah, that's interesting. It was not relevant the first game. Will it be relevant this game? Because remember, in our post race interview with Ninjembro, he said he would save the big chest in Thieves Town for absolute last.
Newbie now in Skull Woods. He can polish this off. And he'll be going at the end of this dungeon. Why couldn't you have dropped this red mail in Thieves Town?
No kidding.
But he will be happy to pick up the ether. Once again, it is required for Misery Mire, which we do see Ninjembro in. And Misery Mire is miserable for the idea that it has 2 items and a whole bunch of keys.
And is it just me, or does the logic seem to force you to do vanilla big key location in Misery Mire more than any other dungeon?
Well, in the case of this seed, we're going to see them definitely take the long way around, because still looking for items. Ninjembro not finding anything good here. I don't think we have seen an item just yet.
No, we have not.
And these runners did check, Ninjembro did check the pedestal. It turned out to be the bombs. Although we're probably going to see Newbie do the check of the pedestal, because he's still missing out on a few key items.
Yeah, shout-outs to VTorp in the chat. VTorp is one of the programmers of the randomizer. And so when I said, is it just me, or does the logic seem to do this more often? He said, it's just you, because he knows. He programmed it to be completely random. So shout-outs to VTorp. You're right. It is just me.
So Newbie doing the same strategy here that Ninjembro ended up doing, and here is the big key in the big chest, or the big key chest. Just where you want to find it here in Misery Mire, because let's just go ahead and go through more hell.
Yeah, this has been a really trolly seed so far, which, is great for the commentators, great for the viewers, endlessly frustrating for the runners. It's got to be getting to Newbie as well. After the problems he had with the previous seed, and now getting a really trolly seed. Yeah.
Where are these items in this damn dungeon, Ghost Ninjembro, as he now makes his way over to the big chest here in Misery Mire?
Well, this has got to be one of them. And it is the Ice Rod!
Ice Rod in the big chest at Misery Mire. Are you kidding me? But we're still missing the hammer, the bow, a upgrade to your sword.
Yeah, I'm amazed at how far they have gone in this seed without the hammer. That because, as we've said dozens of times, the hammer has more dependencies than any other item in the game, and for them to be this far into a seed, an hour, 10 minutes into the seed, hammerless, highly unusual. And Newbie's got to be careful here, because he is running low on magic.
Yeah,
And
he...
clutch full magic decanter from the Gibdo.
That definitely helps. And Jimbo's still also going to be careful this is Magic 2, because he's about to go up against Vitreous with the Fighter Sword.
Oh, that hurts.
Shades of what we saw out of Parisian Player in his matchup against Newbie404. Because Ninjembro is about to go up against Vitreous with the Fighter Sword, and we saw the same thing out of Parisian Player, who decided to just do nothing but spam bombs. This is going to be a nasty fight coming up here.
Yeah, no half magic, so he can't really use the cape to help him out. He's really low on magic. Here go the bombs.
And going on over to the side, this is pretty much just a shuffle here for Ninjembro, down to 12 bombs, making 11. Oh, the lightning here making it so he can't use another bomb.
Newbie making good work of Mothula on the other side, though. Oh my god, the bomb strats.
4 bombs left to go. Getting the eyes down. Look at Ninjembro go. He's probably wishing, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Gotta be careful of his health, though.
Yeah, this is definitely worse than having to use hammer strats on Argus.
Which, by the way, we could be seeing is Ninjembro is buying some extra potions here. Okay, stage 1 down. Stage 2.
I think he's got this. It's just a matter of getting those spins down. Of course, he has less range on those spins with the fighter sword, so...
Nice double.
Yeah, get him in the corner, get you a double.
Newbie now heading over to the Ice Palace, which is not beatable at this point. But we've seen it troll before, where an item that is important is in there. Ninjembro dancing around with an eyeball. The nice little eyeball shuffle here from Ninjembro. Just
somebody needs to clip this and overlay the...
down to 2 hearts!
Oh. Clip this and overlay Yakety Sax from the Benny Hill Show.
Try to get him over to the corner some more. Some more spins. My goodness. The eyeball dance is continuing, and he got him!
Oh my god. And the bow!
He drops the bow!
Oh my god!
Holy cow!
That is twice that Ninjembro has clutched out a boss fight and ended up with a hype item dropping. Wow! Win or lose, Ninjembro has just done awesome in this seed.
That might not be a place that Newbie heads to anytime soon, because of the fact that it only has 2 items, and the 2 items that were in there are required items. How many times have you seen Misery Mire have 2 items in it, both required?
My god, you know, usually there are only 2 items in it, right?
Yeah.
100% accuracy for Mire, which is, you know, after Ice Palace, probably everybody's least favorite dungeon.
My goodness.
Are we sure this isn't a Wizrobe seed?
This very well could be at this rate. We still need to find where the elusive hammer is. The hammer can still be anywhere, but now we, of course, eliminate the possibility of it being in Thieves' Town, because it cannot be in that chest, the big chest that we are missing out on. Now, where is this going to be? We know it's not where Ninjembro is right now with the Desert Palace, but he's probably thinking, Green Pendant, we're going to finish this off.
Yeah. As Newbie404 did the exact same thing, and he traded in the green pendant to Sahasrahla for a whole lot of disappointment. Just a little bit of love.
There are several places where this could be. Like, for instance, this hammer could still be in the Palace of Darkness. This could still be in Swamp Palace. And 300 rupees turns out to be in the chest there with the freezers. As Ninjembro now making his way through the second portion of the Desert Palace, Newbie404 now making his way through the Ice Palace once again. Pretty much on a gamble at this point that he could find the hammer in here. But he is starting to run out of possibilities. Could be. But right now, Ninjembro with a huge leg up because he decided to kill off Vitreous with a fighter sword. Newbie picks up a key. That key is not necessarily great news at this point in time because it's not a hammer.
So Newbie doing the dreaded full clear on Ice Palace that nobody ever wants to have to do.
And Ninjembro, because he ran out of magic, is going to have to kill the Lemolas. The developer intended way to kill off in level 1. By the way, 70 arrows. Unbelievable.
Found every single one of the upgrades.
And Newbie is now at the point where he cannot press on any further because he needs the hammer.
One chest here that he skipped, and it is the big key, so actually
that makes one more chest he can check.
Yep.
So Ninjembro is now about to head on over to Sahasrahla, and he's about to get completely disappointed.
Newbie falling down, he's just going to use the hookshot strats to get over to the big key chest here.
And there is a small key. Ice Palace. Unwinnable at this point.
So Ninjembro now, he's right next to Eastern Palace, but he'll be able to clear it, but Armos isn't going to have anything because both runners have found 3 items there already.
Yeah, this here, Ninjembro going to Eastern because it's beatable, but he's going to forego the opportunity to actually just go ahead and do the combo. Newbie is lost at this point in time, and he's thinking about what his options are. He's thinking maybe going through the portal.
It looked like he thought about Meyer there for a second, too.
So Newbie is going to go to the Palace of Darkness, but he just remembers that he has to do this the original game way, which is to go through via the pyramid on down over to the Palace of Darkness that way.
Right, because he doesn't have the hammer. So
unfortunately, he can't beat this dungeon. But what if the hammer turns out to be in here?
Right, there's so few places it could possibly be at this point.
Right now, the hammer could only be the first chest in Swamp or the Palace of Darkness.
That's it. That's all that's left. Wait, have either runners checked Spike Cave?
They can't get in.
Oh, that's right. They don't have the hammer. Yeah.
But here is another possibility. What if Palace of Darkness has a sword upgrade?
Then we got some tablets to go check. That would really be in the spirit of the way this seed has been going.
Does anyone else want to play this seed? Well, watch the torture these two are going through right now and decide no.
No. Well, of course, after watching it, sure, anybody would want to play it now that we know where everything is. Hey,
So, our most night fight here, which we know is not going to yield anything important here for ninjembro, but, you're here. You might as well finish this off and
get the crystal.
Get the crystal, get the map, the burrito for finishing off this dungeon. Nah, we're not going to call them burritos this go around.
Toilet paper?
In honor of Mother's Day, there are Mother's Day cards. Say hello to your mother, please. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
At least give her a call. Okay, so Newbie heading through Pod, and odds are he's going to find something good here, because there's just so few locations left.
Ninjembro looks like he's getting ready to go into Thieves Town. So
there's the hammer!
Hammer time in Pod. Wow.
Not in its vanilla location, but in its vanilla dungeon.
Just a shame the newbie can't finish this dungeon off. So he made a right gamble in the sense that he was looking for a critical item, and Pod delivers. But
you can't get to Helmister King without the bow.
Yep, because you gotta defeat the mimics. There's one room of mimics that you are unable to get to. So ninjembro now making his way through Thieves Town, which we know is not going to be something that is beatable, that is going to yield anything for him, rather. Newbie needs to make his way over to Misery Mire. But here's the question here. Here's the question for you.
Okay.
When do you go into Misery Mire if you're Newbie?
It's hard to say that now based on the knowledge that we have. I want to say, well, heck, right now after this I go right into Misery Mire. Of course I do, right? But maybe he decides to run around and check the troll chest in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, he's gonna probably go into Swamp Palace instead. Because now he's got the hammer. Swamp Palace is beatable. He could go back to Ice Palace. That is now beatable. And based on where he's going, he's going to go to Swamp.
It's a required dungeon. He has everything he needs to complete it. And it's close.
And even if ninjembro, by the way, goes into Pod next, he's not on go mode yet.
No.
Because in order to do any damage against Ganon, you need a level 2 sword or higher. The fighter sword will not cut it.
That's right. And so our runners may full clear all the rest of the dungeons if they don't find a sword upgrade, and it's entirely possible that all the sword upgrades are in Ganon's tower.
This seed is very evil.
It really is. Because it's, some seeds, it's all about the decision making. Some seeds are all about the execution. This seed has made it about both.
Well, let me just put it out here. In the last seed, ninjembro was on Ganon at this time.
That's right. He was pretty much done at this point.
He was on Ganon. He was slaughtering him down with the butter sword, with the blue mail, rather.
And silvers.
With silver arrows. And now in 24 minutes, he's not even on go mode.
Nope. And, basically, and doing a pendant dungeon that's not going to help him out any. Now, granted, his opponent did that dungeon as well, but And you can't blame either one of these guys for going into a pendant dungeon based on the way the item distribution has been this seed. And Newbie is going to be taking he's going to be taking the long route through Swamp Palace because he still doesn't have the ice rod. So he's going to be looking for the ice rod in here.
Also
so he's
the bow.
Yeah, and the bow. So he's going the long route through this.
Right now, at this point, it is anyone's race.
Without a doubt.
Either runner has information. Both runners have information that the other would love to have.
Yep.
Ninjembro knows where the bow and the ice rod were. They were in Misery Mire. Newbie404 knows where the hammer was. That was in Palace of Darkness. Ninjembro finishing off with the dungeon. Gets the good old item out of there. Found out that it's not a winnable, that it's not what he needs. And he's going to go to Palace of Darkness next.
Yep. So it would have been interesting if Ninjembro decided, well, Ninjembro can't go to Swamp Palace. He doesn't have the hammer, so.
He's going to check Catfish first, actually.
Ooh, we know that will not bear any fruit either.
Technically, to answer chat, no. Oh, by the way, Newbie finds out that the fighter's sword is not long enough to grab that orb with that crystal.
Yeah. All right, what do we got, Catfish? Now, the interesting thing here will be if Catfish has a sword upgrade, he does not. But if he did, that would probably throw Ninjembro off his game, looking for the tablets. So in actuality, if either one of our runners finds a sword upgrade, they may waste time chasing tablets.
Ninjembro now heading over to the Palace of Darkness, where the hammer awaits. This is still an interesting race here. Because it's unusual to have a race at an hour 27 where no sword upgrades have been found. You need to have a sword upgrade in order to do any sort of damage against Ganon. He does not go at all to a fighter sword.
No, not even to spins. Even if you have the Master Sword, the only damage you can do is with a spin attack.
But Ninjembro now going into the Palace of Darkness, he's probably going to feel sick about being on go mode at an hour 27 in.
Yeah.
Or quasi-go mode.
Right.
To put it better.
And what also is going to be tough here for Newbie is that the fighter sword does no damage to the puffballs around Argus. So we're probably going to see him pull one in with the hook shot, switch to the hammer, hit it with the hammer to kill it, switch back to the hook shot to pull the next one. You get the idea.
And anybody who's done that fight knows your item menu time is going to go way, way up because of it. You're not going to get a 3-minute menu time when you have to do a Argus with the hammer, switch back to the hook shot, go back to the hammer, switch back to the hook shot, and do that about a gazillion times.
At least the hammer kills the puffballs in one hit.
And you know something else we haven't found yet? The silver arrows. Just think of this. If the only sort of increase we get is the Master Sword, this is going to be a nightmare seed for these guys.
Yeah. At least they have the red mail, but Master Sword Silverless Ganon is just, ooh, it's rough.
Well, let's just also add in the fact that we're doing this with no quarter or half magic in play.
That's right.
Like, I keep watching Newbie clear out these chests in hopes that we find something good. But we're not finding it.
But now... Okay, no. You wonder, will Ninjembro will find the hammer here, and then he'll be done. He'll know that he's got everything he needs. Except, well, no. Will he go ahead and clear Palace of Darkness in the hope of getting a sword upgrade from the Helmaser King?
Well, at this point in time, I would assume that he would have to, if he counts his items right. All right, here we go. Item menu time. All right, hook shot, hammer, hook shot, hammer. This is just a hilarious fight, and I could say this myself, having to experience a Argus fight like this before. This is not fun when you have to do nothing but mere pause menu strats in order to get yourself through it.
But you'll be making pretty quick work of him.
He's almost got him, though. He's down to the one final puff, and then he can just do spin attacks and whatever he wants to do against this.
Fire rod.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Is he going to do swag hammer strats? Oh, look at
it
that.
looks like no. Well, he's not going to do dash hammer, but he is going to attack him with the hammer. This is a whole lot faster than going fighter sword.
Oh, absolutely. I would have thought he would have just pulled out the fire rod.
Oh, Ninjembro gets the hammer. He's out. He's done. Goodbye. Half magic!
Oh, wow.
Argus!
That will certainly be a boon to our runners, particularly if they have to do a Master Sword Silverless Ganon.
And Ninjembro now going into the Ice Palace.
I guess we could say that Ninjembro is in semi-go mode. Because he still needs a sword upgrade, but it won't stop him from exploring and getting all the way to Ganon himself.
Newbie now heading into the Ice Palace again. He needs to get into Misery Mire. That's the only chance he's got at this point. Ninjembro winning game number 1. If he wins this game here, he is up to the round of 16. Newbie needs this to force a game 3.
And yeah, as you pointed out, Newbie has already been into Ice Palace and cleared some of it. So this is a pretty big time sink for him, whereas this is Ninjembro's first time into Ice Palace, and he will be able to clear it, albeit Cold Stare with Fighter Sword. Oh, yeah, he's got, and he doesn't have half magic either for the Fire Rod. This will be tough on him.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Ninjembro opts to go with the Bombos to knock him down to the final stage.
Right, but the question then becomes, how does he do damage to Cold Stare after that? Does he have any green goo? Because the best option would be Fire Rod, but he doesn't have half magic, and Bombos takes a quarter of your magic.
I like the synchronized
bomb jump.
Yeah, so I was about to say, I like the synchronized bomb jumps here.
Oh, without a doubt.
Ninjembro now getting across, Newbie getting across as well. And we are seeing Ninjembro searching for chests too, because he wants to find a sword upgrade.
He's got to have one, so.
I do want to point out that currently, just because it's this is affecting these guys later down the road, Evil Ash 25 has a 1-0 series lead on JC 87, and their best of 3 games 2 and 3 are scheduled for next Saturday, May 20th. 12 p.m. is the first race, 5 p.m. is the third race if necessary. The winner of this matchup would be playing either one of those two, either the number 1 seed Evil Ash or the number 33 seed, I think he was.
Something about that, yep. This is a good time, too, to remind everybody to follow these runners, follow Ninjembro, follow Newbie404 for all of their... Both of them have played this seed exceptionally well. Follow Speed Gaming 2. And God, how is this one going to end? We still can't predict. I still can't tell you if anybody's in Elite.
Ninjembro here going up against Coaster. Going to do the Bombo strat here to at least knock off the ice.
Yeah, he's using Fire Rod.
Yeah, I don't disagree with this strat here.
Like I said, I think he has Green Goo, but I'm not sure.
Well, he's going to have to be careful either way. Based on the fact he's not pulling out a potion, no, he does not.
This is going to be a
whole
bunch of spins here.
There's a whole bunch of spinning going on.
Whole lot of spinning going on.
Thank you. I always respect the commentators when they get the references I'm going for.
Wow. This is the third clutch, just tight boss fight we've seen from Ninjembro.
Yeah, the first one being Mothzilla, the second one being Vitreous, Ninjembro getting second head down. Now, this is going to be easier for Newbie because he's got the half magic.
Right.
As you can evidently see on his end of the screen. Yes, he's going to knock him down probably, yeah, even before we see Ninjembro get it down. A piece of heart, the reward for the boss kill here, and we still are in search of an elusive sword increase. Where are these swords?
I'm telling you, man, they're all in Ganon's tower. Ganon has hoarded all of them. I'm calling Fighter Sword Trinex right now.
Somebody in chat making a comment about these boss fights are putting the song, the theme to Tailspin in their mind. Oh, yes!
Oh, yeah!
Tailspin!
Oh, yeah!
Tailspin.
All the trouble we get in with another tailspin.
It's never off the swamp. Oh, my God.
That's right. All right, so Newbie, I think Newbie's going to head back and check Thieves Town. That one chest. Could that one chest hold a sword upgrade? Could you imagine it being Butter Sword?
Wouldn't that be something at this point in time?
Oh my God.
What if that's the silvers?
Oh, the silvers would be amazing. And particularly because it was not... They were in the same situation last seed. They had to clear... They cleared Thieves Town without the hammer, left the chest. It was completely irrelevant. We interviewed Ninjembro at the end of it. He said he would always save that chest until probably absolute last. If that chest ends up being a determinative factor here, I mean, you can't make this stuff up, guys. Right? If you told somebody, you'd think they were lying to you.
What if this is a forced having to go back in for a sword upgrade?
Yeah.
Of course somebody clipped it! Of course somebody clipped it!
If you're not having fun up here, you just need to quit. That's all I'm saying.
Alright, let's see what's in this chest.
No, just a piece of fart.
Actually, no, I think that's almost like a song from Let's Make a Deal.
Oh, so where could my sword upgrade be? Where can it be? Yeah, somebody in the chat saying Silver's in pedestal. Nope, not there. We've already checked the pedestal.
It's triple booms.
It's Bamps. Butter sword!
Butter sword! We got a sword upgrade!
Ladies and gentlemen, Newbie404 is in go mode.
No, he's not.
Oh, that's right. He hasn't gone to... Oh my god, he hasn't gone to Meyer yet. Good god, man. Yeah, you're right. This seed does have the commentators on tilt.
Where are you going, newbie? That's not the direction to go. Oh, I know what he's going to do. He's going to check the bombos now.
Yeah. The lengths that Newbie will go to not have to do a full clear of Misery Mire are insane. Not that I can really blame him. But yeah, he's checking tablets. What if he finds silvers?
Oh my god. Wouldn't that be something at this point? All right, hold the sword up in the air and wait if you
Silver arrows!
Silver arrows in the Bobo's tablet! Are you kidding me?
My god! Wow!
And with that, Newbie is heading to Misery Mire.
And he will at least have Butter Sword to be able to take care of Vitreous with.
He will have Butter Sword. He will have Silver Arrows. This is not going to be the intense fight that ninjembro had.
But he won't have the bow, because Vitreous has the bow.
Oh, that's right. You are right. But he will still have the Butter Sword.
That's right. And he'll have half magic. And no bird toss from Newbie. I mean, come on.
At an hour and 41 and you're not in go mode, you don't care about the bird toss at this point.
That's true. He doesn't know what we know.
At this point in time, you don't give in to the memes.
That's true. Like the validation chest, right?
That would be correct. So ninjembro here searching through, and well, obviously we now know where you need to go to get a Butter Sword, which gives Newbie a distinct advantage too, by the way.
That's right.
This has been the kind of race here where neither of these runners have really defined themselves. What is this with us with these back and forth races for you?
I don't know, Rick, but maybe the admins know a little bit more than they're letting on about. They're like, yeah, give Rick and Ryu the trolley seeds.
Thank you, admins.
Yeah.
Actually, thank Fiesel who dealt the seat to these guys.
Yeah, it's all Fiesel. Fiesel, again, you mentioned him, and I just got to give him the shout out because I don't know if he's been sleeping over the past 2 months while this tournament has been going on. He is, every time I am either watching a race, commentating a race, or doing the tracker for a race, Fiesel is around.
Newbie now checking over here the West End.
And
in order to find the big key, ninjembro checking things along the way. Wouldn't that be something if he finds Tempered Sword on the path to the big key in Gan's Tower? Like, that's something that we saw in the race against, I believe, I almost want to say Vitor versus Raikou Rider, but I'm not 100% certain of that.
Oh, ninjembro as well is going to have to do the hookshot hammer strats. Oh, ninjembro doesn't know he can't do any damage with the fighter sword. Oh, he's trying to do the spins.
Oh, this is going to be painful. And ninjembro not even thinking about doing the hammer. Oh my god.
Oh, ninjembro. You hate to see this sort of thing happen. Although he's making it work.
Yeah.
In the immortal words of Tim Gunn, make it work.
Big key pickup here for Newbie. He's still missing items. He's still checking chests.